Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This video will have no articles. The article that I will use will come from here and from here. And it has to do with my school years in the grade school and from the first grade to the 8th grade in the communist Romania. When you start over there, you start with from the first grade to the 4th grade, you have one teacher, and that's the one who is like your parent, and he does with you each and every class that you do. You do geography, you do arithmetics, you do literature, you do these kind of things, and he is teaching you how to behave and how to be a good person. In every class that we had, in every classroom, we had a portrait of the president, which was the president of Romania, Ceausescu, who became a dictator, basically. Now, you were required to show up at 8 o'clock and at school, and if you were late, you would be smacked or embarrassed in front of the class. So you would be called and ridiculed in front of the class by the teacher, by your parent. And you could not use reasons like I fell asleep, or I couldn't wake up, or I missed the bus, or besides the fact over there you were walking from home to school. You didn't take a bus, or your parents drove you to school because it was the neighborhood school. So if you were late, you couldn't use any justification until, I don't know, someone died or something. And you would be ridiculed and maybe smacked. That would be something that could occur with no problem. Then you would wear a uniform, and each uniform had a number. You had a number. So whatever, 635 or whatever number you had. And then this uniform was like a suit, very nice. And when you got in the I think 8th grade, you will have a little tie instead of a scarf around your neck, and all this was a uniform, and it had to be clean. All the buttons have to be round, none of them missing, and the teacher would check you from time to time, check your dress robe, or wardrobe, and see if everything was good. Then they will check your nails, and they would also check your your hair. You see my hair, something like that. You really could not have you could not have longer hair. Your hair could not go over your ear here. That's how short it has to be. Girls had to have their hair nice combed, and it could not stink. Obviously, it had to be clean, which was great. At every start of a trimester, so 3 months, it was fall, spring, of 3 months, from let's say September 15 it was until December 15, and then it started in, I think, January, let's say 15, and it was going until June 15 or something like that, and that was it. So 2 of these kind of things, and then you had like 3 months in the summer, and you had in the winter. I don't remember anything in spring. I can remember if it was a week or so, I don't remember. And then every time you come back to school, they would have the doctor come, the dentist and the regular nurse and so on. They would check your check your body, check your eyes, check your denture, and if you had any cavities or anything, they would make an appointment to come at the school's dentistry. They had over there the dental office, and you would go over there and nothing would be paid, and you just do it. School was free. The school books were free, and you, from year to year, you give it to the next generation and so on. So you use them the whole year, and you bring them back at the end of the year. The next generation will pick them in fall, 15th of September, and then you give them back in 15th of June or something like that. You would have notebooks, and you would have school homework, and you would have little notebooks that they would give you grades on those. You would go in front of the class, and you had to, let's say in Romanian language, you had poetry, and you had to memorize poems. And you go in front of the class and you recite your poem. And you would have tests. You have to know the poem by heart. Could be, I don't know, long of 3 pages, 5 pages, 1 page. It depended on the poem. There were no multiple choice questions. There were nothing like that. You were having 50 minutes. You have the class, 10 minutes break, and then you have a 20 minutes break, the long break. We would go and play soccer outside and get sweaty, and you couldn't come inside the classroom after the teacher. You would get smacked, or they would just say, okay, yeah, go over there, we're going to test you. So they would test you. They were very, very, very blunt. Let's say you're stupid, they would call you names like that, or they would ridicule you. It was nothing like building your self-esteem if you did not deserve to have self-esteem. You couldn't do anything. If you were running on hallways and the teacher would get you, you would get smacked, and things like this. Regarding, you couldn't fight. If you were fighting, again, brought in front of the teacher and either smacked, or if the things were more serious than that, you would have to bring your parents to school. But everything was, how should I put it, very disciplined, very organized, and very clean. You couldn't come, for instance, with dirty shoes, or you can come with dirty bring dirt in the school. You would get in trouble. It was very organized. We didn't have lunches. We didn't eat at school. You bring your own sandwiches from home, or no sandwich at all. And that was the experience. And in 8th grade, you would graduate, but 8 years you would go with the same schoolmates. So you would be able to form friendships from then, and you would never really break. And you 8 years as a child with the same people, you get to know them better than you would know your wife, or you're better than you would know, I don't know, other people that you will meet. Because when you're a child, you don't fake. You don't really, you are what you are. When you get in adulthood, you're starting changing things in your behavior and starting, avoiding showing certain defects that you have. As a child, you don't really care. You are what you are. So the other kids see it. What can I tell you? I think it was a very strict school system. Dependent on we did the same thing. Every school in the country did the same curriculum, the same books, everybody. And the same, not the same tests, but the same curriculum. And when you graduate from the 8th grade to go into the 9th grade, you had to go and have an examination. Depending on what high school you want to go. It didn't matter how good your grades were, you would go and be examined. You go take tests. And based on the tests you take to the high school you want to attend, if you get there was a certain number to get to high school that you wanted. And if, let's say, there were 100 students that had to be in that, let's say, 9th grade, and there were 1,000 students applying, you can imagine it was on 100 places, it was 1,000, there was 10 people on one. So that it was very hard to get in certain high schools that were of quality. And if you would not get there because you could not pass the test over there to be in the first 100 out of 1,000, you would be passed to worse high schools, and so on. In high schools, the same thing. It was the same curriculum, but it was a different accent on different subjects. Like, for example, this was mathematics and physics oriented. This was on languages, and this was on science, or it was just different. Whatever you feel like you belong, or you are inclined as a human being to go to. Nobody would tell you where to go, including the college. I will make another video, a continuation of this with high school and with college. Nobody would tell you what to do and what to become. As when I came here in the United States, they said, well, when you go there, the government already assigned you what you're going to be. That was a lie. You could be whatever you were able to attain, to achieve through your own work. Yeah, there were some strings you can pull here and there if you were a big shot, but 98% of the people, no, it was, you couldn't go around the system. Well, I will make a part 2 after this one. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.